Hello, Jess Goodridge, and welcome to your video. Okay, so we are, so we're gonna hop right in today. It has been a while since I filmed. I went on vacation last week, so I didn't film at all. So it'll have been a little while since we've seen each other. I kind of forget how to do everything, so hopefully everything's gonna be okay. So today is going to be another personalized tutorial for my friend and supporter, Jess Goodridge. She's someone I met through a Facebook makeup group, and that makeup group is the group that pushed me to make this channel. So this personalized tutorial has a very special place in my heart because Jess has been there since day one, and she's always been a huge supporter of mine. If you check the comments in nearly every video I've ever posted, she's always there. She's always saying something positive. She's just really the greatest person, and I want to give her a tutorial that she can really use. If you want to know more about getting your own personalized tutorial and you haven't checked the Patreon link below yet, please do that. So I try to make these tutorials as personal as possible, bespoke, designed just for you, or in this case, Jess. I do my best to incorporate things that the person wants to learn or create a look that is going to be specifically for a certain event. In this case, it is not a specific event, more or less just almost giving me free reign to do what I want, but at the same time incorporating some tips and tricks that she wants to explore a little bit more. So we have a few messages back and forth. So the gist of them is if you want to do golds or oranges, whatever makes you feel creative, whether or not it's avant-garde or more glam. And she goes on to say, I actually have a pretty similar face shape and eye shape to you, aka high cheekbones and lots of lid space. I would love maybe some tips on overlining your lips. I have fairly decently sized lips, but sometimes I'd love to overline them a bit and make them look a bit more full without making a huge mess. With that in mind, today we're going to be focusing on a very glam eye look that involves orange and gold, taking advantage of the enormous lid space that we both possess. And also I'm going to be showing you a couple of my favorite tips on overlining your lips. And before I ramble on any longer, I'm just going to zoom on in and we are going to focus on the eyes for the first portion of this video. Okay, so we're going to do eyes first today because we might be playing with some pressed glitter. I got this bad boy in the mail. I love being able to showcase very affordable products. Colourpop is kind of the front runner for me on that end. So they sold this magnetic palette plus a bunch of single shadows in a bundle called the Headliner palette. A lot of them are pressed glitters, which I've never played with before, but I'm really excited because it has this beautiful bright orange. I also picked up a couple of lip items as well that I know are going to be perfect for what we're doing today. And on top of all that, it is all super affordable, so you're in luck. Oh, I forgot to put on eyebrows. Be right back. 15 hours later and I have my brows on. They are pretty carved out today because we are going full glam. I've just primed using MAC Soft Ochre paint pot. We're gonna start off first with a very light orange. I'm gonna use this more apricot-y orange in the Flower Beauty Austin palette, which is one of the Wanderlust palettes. I'm just kind of gonna go for it with an M441, which is a tapered blending brush. And I'm gonna start stamping out a shape. And because we have lots of space to play, I'm going to wing it out a little bit. This is just basically to lay out a shape. It's such a powdery shade, like I don't even think I can lift this up and show you. Like, that's insane. Lorelai's basically like this color. Let's see what happens when we use this to deepen up the shape. This kind of grounds it, which is good. Okay, I think what I want to do next is I do want to go in with yellow, just to blur out those edges a little bit. Of course, I'm going to go in with Buttercupcake because I always do, with a smaller brush. I'm using the M514. And I think I'm just going to start to blur out those edges a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like the yellow blending into the orange better. Let's go back into the Austin palette from Flower Beauty. I just realized this whole time while I was switching out the battery that my mic wasn't plugged in. I had it turned on, but didn't plug it in. I'm sorry that the audio was so crummy for that whole first bit. Anyway, back to business. I'm a professional. So now that I've got a decent blend of like yellow to orange, I'm gonna go in with a nice bright orange, so I'm going to use Flamepoint to deepen this out a lot. And I'm really packing this orange shade on because I really want this to not just be a brown smoky eye. Too many palettes, too many palettes. Trying to marry all these shades together. Just not be afraid of just spending the time. Okay, nearly there. What I want to do is incorporate more depth into the crease. I think I'm going to stick to the Gemini palette. So I'm going to use polka dot and really get just into that tiny area. And I'm actually really trying to sketch in right above that crease for that extra depth, and it'll give us a guide for when we want to cut the crease, which is what we're doing today. I know they're tricky, and I also get really nervous about them, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. I just don't know if it's deep enough in that crease. Let's bust out Jaclyn Hill and go in with Roxanne, which is this guy right here, and let's see if we can build that up a tiny bit. And then maybe a deeper chocolatey brown. Let's use Mocha. Okay, I think I finally have it in a place where I'm okay with it. And I feel like this is just elevated enough that it's not disappointing me yet. So let's just keep going. So what I want to do is just do a half cut crease just to here. What we're going to use is a couple of really exciting things that I actually haven't used on my channel yet. One of them is a chrome paint pot from Tarte in the shade Top Yacht, which is absolutely stunning. So that's going to be like sort of the base of the cut crease, and then I think I really want to go in with this orange glitter, and it could get messy. So let's cut the crease. So putting a little concealer on the back of my hand. Okay, that's good enough for now. I'm gonna take Top Yacht. Well, first of all, I'm just gonna dip my finger in it and show you like how crazy it looks. Like it's basically just pure gold. So getting that precise edge is gonna be the tricky part. Let's try a smaller brush. There we go. But look at that. Okay, gorge. That is all over me. But I think what I'm going to do to sort of ease off that transition between the matte and the chrome paint pot, I'm going to go definitely a smoother transition. This is turning out really pretty. I used about 1,000 products to get here, but we are here. So now I think what I want to do to potentially ruin everything is try and play with that pressed glitter. Okay, so it's like literally just like dry glitter and you can't really swatch it. So I'm actually just going to go in with my Duo adhesive. This is scary, but it'll work. And I'm just going to sort of paint right in between the transition here onto the lid where I want the glitter to stick. This one, sure, we have precision, so I'm just going to try and pick it up with my finger and pat it onto the lid. That's sick. Okay, do I want to go full glitter cut crease and use one of the lighter shades? I think I do. I think I want to go full glitter cut crease. Okay, back in with the Duo. Trust, this is not the most comfortable application process, but you know this is not going to go anywhere. Let's go in with the yellow. Bitch. Okay, and then at the very end, let's go in with the very lightest shade. I'm gonna take a clean brush and just sort of dust away at the crease here just to keep it clean and precise. It is so pretty though. Oh my goodness. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do the entire other eye off camera, do my liner lashes. We've seen that a bunch of times. And then I'm gonna go in and just do my whole base. We've seen that too. Nothing new there. When we come back, I'm going to be pretty much all done except for the lips. And and we will get into some overlining strategies. And that's gonna be the plan. Okay, be right back. We are back up to speed. I have thrown on a lash and some liner. These are my tried and true Luminara lashes by Rouge and Rogue. I will always have the biggest place in my heart for Rouge and Rogue lashes because they are undeniably beautiful. I always encourage people, if they don't know where to start with fake lashes, go to Rouge and Rogue. You can buy these lash trios that have 3. You can try a whole multitude of styles out at once. Also, I drew on the bitchiest wing. I don't know why it became so bitchy, but here we are, and I'm kind of living for it, so I'm not gonna complain, especially this one on this side. Now that everything's sort of really coming together, I'm going to just drop in and start doing some blush and highlight just to tie the whole face together, and then we'll move on to the lips. But I thought I'd include you in on the blush just because, especially when it comes to something very warm, orangey tone on the eyes, I want to go with something very warm on the cheeks. So to start off with, at least I'm going to go in with the Flower Beauty Flower Pots blush in Peach Primrose, which is a favorite of mine and always has been. Anyway, I'm just gonna really start piling this on. And I'm gonna keep it on the perimeter of the cheeks just because of how winged out the shape of our eye is. Everything's sort of lifted, the liner's lifted, the brows are lifted. The blush should follow suit. Let's take it up into the temples as well. Even if I did have 1,000 blushes, I feel like I would still gravitate toward this one naturally just because it's so universally flattering, gorgeous, pretty. It's the perfect peachy blush. Keeping it away from the center of the face. I think I will deepen it just like a teeny bit with a little bit of Flamepoint and Suburbia, just right on the outer edge. And then of course blending that together with Milani Luminoso because it is the best and it's the perfect transition from blush to highlight. And this one you can take down closer to the apples of the cheeks just because it is way lighter and will act as sort of a highlight to the apple of your cheek. We have new upstairs neighbors, and you will notice if the microphone is picking that up that they are a bit lead-footed. Sorry about that. I don't know why not every beauty guru uses this because it's seriously like the most beautiful blush that ever lived. I know I've said that like 15 times in at least the last 5 videos, but can't deny it. Just to soften that nose contour a bit because I kind of went a little bit too in. Also, you should know that when I did go over the pressed glitter with that eyeliner, it was a bit of an ordeal, and if you look really close up, you'll be able to see like it's a little bit bumpy in that area. If you don't want that kind of texture, just don't put the glitter where you'd put your liner. I should have been more proactive with that when I was doing my eye, but of course I don't really plan anything, so this is the most glam I think I felt in a really long time on this channel. I feel pretty fucking proud of this. I'm speaking too soon. We need to finish this eye, just the lower lash line. As estimated, this video is taking me way longer than I thought it would take. I think it's mostly because of all the blending on the eyes. So I think I want to dive into the mustardy tones of the Gemini palette for the underside. I'll go in with a blend of Lorelei and Polka Dot. You want to really connect the bottom to the top as well, especially in a smoky eye. Okay, and then to warm it up and smoke it out further, I'm gonna dip into Flamepoint from Sugarpill and warm up that edge, smoke it out even further. And then lastly, just go in with Buttercupcake, the yellow eyeshadow. These lashes are casting such a shadow that I actually can't tell what I'm doing on this outer corner. So these kind of looks that just take like forever in a day that you just have to really commit your entire afternoon to and just like not be upset about it. I think the attention to detail is really what will take a look from basic to just polished. And then to finish it off, I'm going to do a colored liner. You can do any sort of liner in the waterline. You could do white to make it really pop. You could do black to make it really smoky. You could do bronzy metallic liner. That would work too. But I think in order to give this sort of a pop of brightness, I'm going to go in with a bright yellow liner, and this one's from Colourpop and it's called Punch. And I think this is going to just make everything come together. I threw in some freckles while I was finishing up the other lower lash line, so now we can move on to highlighter. A champagne gold highlighter would probably be the best option. And since we're kind of going for kind of an insta baddie vibe right now, I feel like using the Amrezy highlighter is kind of the only option, so we're just gonna go with that. Any excuse to use this highlighter, to be honest. with that chin, Cupid's bow. Let's glow up that forehead. Pretty much just put it everywhere. And to accentuate those cheekbones, make sure you bring that highlighter all the way down to the apple of the cheek, and make sure you emphasize the very top of the cheekbone and not bring it down too far down your cheek. I don't really like a huge like massive highlighter covering up all of my blush and bronzer area, just so when it hits the light it's like that perfect light catching moment. And of course we're gonna hit up the nose. I'm gonna do one last thing on the inner corner of my eye. I was gonna do a really shimmery inner corner, but I think that will kind of compete with the glitter that's already happening on the lid. So I think I want to do a pop of color on the inner corner. Also, I think that'll tie in the yellow liner. So I think I'm gonna do a pop of yellow right in here. I've used this shadow in like every single tutorial. Yeah, that's pretty badass. This was the unintentional Instagram makeup challenge. Okay, let's spray it down. Oh my god, watching Raw Beauty Kristi try and open a fan was the most hysterical thing I've seen all day. Yes, I am aware that these cut creases are not even. No, I don't care. My poor shirt and hair always just get so drenched. Does anyone else have that problem? All right, we finally get to move on to lips today. I know you were specifically looking for a liquid lip technique, but when it comes to overlining, I have noticed that I get the most success from when I'm using just a lip liner and a nice, beautiful gloss. So I'm going to take it upon myself to show you the technique I use with the liner and gloss method. You could apply the same rules using a liquid lipstick instead of a lip gloss. As long as you use a lip liner, you are golden. I always use a lip liner that's a little darker than my lip color itself, especially if we're going truly neutral. And I know this seems like it's too dark when you're looking at it because it's literally just like brown, but it does come off a little bit more warm toned. I use it pretty much every time I want to do like a glossy nude lip. It is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Versatile Chestnut. I've used it many times on the channel, but I'm going to use it again because it is just thebomb.com for creating a really super pouty lip. The way I do this is I always prep the lips with a nice lip balm first, just so that the pencil can glide really, really easily. You don't want it to sort of grab in areas because that's going to give it away. And then I'm going to start just by lining the easiest part of the lip that doesn't need the most overlining, which is my lower lip. In fact, my lower lip doesn't really need a whole lot of overlining in general, just because it is a lot fuller than my top lip. So most of the illusion is going to be with the upper lip, but let's just get the lower lip out of the way. And I'm using a light hand because I don't want it to be like the most solid line. You kind of just want to give the illusion that your lips are naturally just sort of darker around the perimeter. So use a light soft hand, like I'm barely putting pressure on it. And then I'm going to draw a line right down the center to give the illusion of a little contour. And then I want to deepen up the corners of the mouth. When you're deepening the parts of your lips that you want to pull back, the parts that you leave are going to be pushed forward. So it's going to give your lips way more dimension and give them this sort of illusion of being very plump. Now the tricky part for me is creating the symmetry in my top lip. My top lip is asymmetrical, so it actually is kind of difficult to get a nice sort of even Cupid's bow. So I'm going to start by taking the pencil and actually lining just kind of above where your natural lip line is. So you don't want to take it too far, but especially in the center of the lip, I like to go just above the natural line. And then when you drag it down to meet the corner of your mouth, you don't have to overline the entire way because you don't really want the entire upper lip to be like widened. You just kind of want the center of the upper lip to be a little bit taller. It creates the illusion again of really nice pout. And then using the same technique you used on the lower lip, shade the corners. It's It's really hard for me to get this top lip even. I don't know why, but this side always looks bigger than this side no matter how much I overline this side. Okay, so this is where you could go in with a liquid lip, a bullet lipstick, anything that is just a little lighter in tone than your liner. So this could work with a colored liner as well as a neutral liner. So as long as the liner is a little darker than the lipstick that you're using. But I really wanted to test out on camera for the first time these beautiful glosses that I picked up from Colourpop. I love like how warm and peachy they are. They're just like the perfect color glosses. So I'm going to be using these today instead of a lipstick, and hopefully you'll forgive me. I think I'm gonna go in first with one I've already tried before, and I am in love with the color of this one. It's called Let It Happen, and it's just this stunning peachy nude. And just a heads up that these are very minty if you ever feel like trying them out, just so you know. I think these claim to be lip plumping, but I'm not, yeah, they say they're a plumping gloss, but like I'm not feeling like any sort of tingle or like swelling sensation, but they are the perfect summer gloss. Yeah, we've kind of hit the nail on the head with Instagram makeup today, just by accident. I think with that, this is the look all complete. And I hope, Jess, that you really enjoyed this video. I was trying to keep you in mind the entire time. I know that you like a challenge. I know that you like playing with makeup. I know you like playing with color. And I think this is a combination of all the good things. The pressed glitters, if you've never tried them, they're kind of tricky to work with, but once you put that adhesive down, you're fine. Always make sure to keep it out of your eye area. Even though you are putting it on your eyelid, keep it out of your eyeball because it's a chunky glitter and that glitter can scratch your cornea. So don't do that. I love the pop of yellow liner in the waterline. It was not exactly what I had envisioned, which obviously happens every single time I sit down to do a video, but I really, really like how it turned out. So I hope that you glean something from this. I hope that you will follow along, and I hope that you will try out any, if not all, of the elements in this video. I'm super excited to see what you come up with, and please snap a photo of it for me to enjoy. Put it in that Facebook group. I want to see it. So if you want to know more about how you can get your very own personalized tutorial, please check the Patreon link down below in the description box. I leave it there with every video, hoping that someone might take a chance on me and support me as an artist financially. Other things you could do to help out this channel, you could like, you could comment down below, which is something that Jess does in every single video without fail. Also, if you haven't already, you could also subscribe. We just hit 500 subscribers, which in the grand scheme of things is absolutely nothing. It is zilch. It was a milestone of mine to hit 500, and so I hope that we just keep growing from here. I will leave Jess's Instagram down below. You can go check out her. You can always find me on Instagram at Madelaide, the same way it is spelled here, and my Twitter, which you know is just mostly used to retweet Andrew at this point, is at MadSuds, which is MADDSUDZ. I'm gonna go take some wicked ass photos of this look and get this up as soon as possible so that you can see it and hopefully enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it. I really did have such a good time in the end. It was very, very fun. Please be kind and be generous to everyone you meet out there in the world today, and hopefully I will see you on the next one. Bye guys. What was that, Andrew?
It was the thing from GoldenEye, I think. Anyway, carry on.